See how this takeoff is. Oh. What's up, guys? Cal here today with the 2026 Toyota Camry XLE all-wheel drive premium package. And the last time I was in a Camry was something like 15 years ago, and my mom's own like 2007 Toyota Camry. So today I'm hopping back into the Camry for the very first time in a long time, and I'm gonna see, is this car as vanilla as I expect it to be when I see it out on the road, or am I gonna walk away actually liking this thing? Let's go ahead and take it for a ride and find out. Taking a look at the visual differences on the XLE all-wheel drive, just like we did in my Corolla review a couple months back, I want to take a look at these cars side by side for you guys between the base model and the XLE, so you guys can see what options are you getting on this XLE as opposed to a base model. So the base model here, these are bi-LED headlamps up here. According to the window sticker on the XLE here, these are just straight up LED headlights. Super flossy looking turn signals there, and look at how bejeweled and just expensive looking those headlights are. They do look really, really good. Now on the front end here, nothing is different, at least as far as the bumper design goes. You guys can see that the bumper design is the same on both cars. However, on the base model, you guys can see it's like a flat plastic. There's no shine or paint to the center grille or that lower grille. It's just simply a black plastic. Whereas we come over here, that is gloss black paint, and then down here, it is a gloss gray paint in that lower section. So you guys can see front bumpers are the same. The wheel choice, it is a 16-inch alloy wheel with a pretty healthy tire profile for those winter weather conditions. On this one, it is an 18-inch wheel. As you guys can see, it has that diamond edge finish, and they are very beautiful to look at. Gorgeous wheels. Moving further down the side mirrors, base model and XLE, do appear to be exactly the same. Coming around the back side of them, you guys will see here, the blind spot alert is both on the base model and on the XLE model here. Take a look at the interior of the LE that we are next to here, the base model. You guys can see those cloth seats going on, the material choice that they have chosen for the dashboard over here, and everything else going on in the interior. Of course, this has the LE. It doesn't have a premium package. There's no sunroof. That has that dual pane sunroof over here, and the interior itself, sunroofs aside, is so much more stunning in the XLE compared to the LE. It does make me think at least a little bit that that extra money is worth it. So side mirrors are the same with those LED indicators. Passive entry, as you guys can see on the base model and the XLE. And then as we move further towards the back, I want to open the fuel door for you guys. So we'll go inside real quick, hit our little fuel door button. And as you guys can see, this 4-cylinder does not require premium or anything like that. You guys can put just 87 in there. And come around the rear end here, as you guys can see, there is the XLE, the all-wheel drive back here. This one does have the black badging. That is an option. That's not standard. So if you didn't get the black badging on this XLE, you would just have the chrome badging like this one has. This is a halogen turn signal, whereas this gets the LED turn signals back here on the XLE model. And that also, just like the front bumper, these lower parts down here are painted, whereas on the base model, yeah, you have that same black plastic that we had up on the front bumper. So you got to admit, all these little touches that they throw onto the XLE definitely does make this look like a much more expensive car than the LE. However, that is because it is a lot more expensive than the LE over here. If you guys take a look at this window sticker, it says this is a front wheel drive model, by the way, whereas that is all wheel drive. This is going for $32,315, and remember, that still does have the hybrid capability because all of these are hybrid now. Whereas we come over here, you guys will see this XLE all-wheel drive, $40,988. So that is essentially an $8,000 difference. So you can see all the options here. Go ahead and pause if you'd like. And this one does have that big package that adds almost $4,000. It has the ventilated front seats, which are very nice looking. I really like how upscale these seats are in here. And then if we go ahead and look at that sunroof, that double pane sunroof in here, go ahead and take a look at how sweet that looks. It really opens up the cabin and gives this car a whole different look inside, so I like it. But that is a $4,000 package, so you guys got to ask yourself if that is worth the difference in the monthly payment. The black badges, the all-weather floor mats, all of it put together, basically $41,000. So quite a big jump, but man, it is such a good looking car. And in a sea of Toyotas that are white, silver, gray, and black. Kind of cool to have ocean gem and stand out a little bit with this blue. But it still is hard to believe. If someone saw these two cars out in public, you almost wouldn't believe it if someone told you that there is a $9,000 price gap between these two cars. Taking a look under the hood of the 2026 Camry XLE all-wheel drive, you guys will see the naturally aspirated 2.5 liter four-cylinder that is putting out 232 horsepower combined in this hybrid setup. Now, there is a power difference between the front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive setups. This all-wheel drive, like I said, puts out 232 horsepower. The front-wheel drive puts out 225 horsepower. So that is a whole 7 horsepower difference if you go with the front-wheel drive model. But there is a small fuel economy difference between the two. If you guys go with all-wheel drive, this setup over here, 46 miles to the gallon combined. In the front-wheel drive setup, it is 51 miles to the gallon combined. So to me, 46 miles to the gallon is still insane. And I do live in an area that gets a fair amount of snow. So I probably would go with that all-wheel drive setup because that's still great mileage and I pick up that all-wheel drive capability. Whereas the front-wheel drive over here, if you guys don't really live somewhere that gets a ton of snow, you guys can get away with the front-wheel drive setup and have insane fuel economy, as you just heard me, over 50 miles to the gallon with that front-wheel drive setup. All right, guys, checking out the trunk space of the Camry here. It is 15.1 cubic feet of space. As you guys can see, me at 6'2", I have a fair amount of space to stretch out in here for a quick size reference. Now, if you guys are cross-shopping this with the Honda Accord, that does have a little bit more space than this. It has 16.7 cubic feet of space, whereas this, like I said, it's only at 15.1, but it is going to have enough space back here to fit all of your luggage if you guys are going on a quick weekend trip in your Camry. And if you guys don't want to get a RAV4 or a Corolla Cross to get things home from the store, you don't have to. This has these two little pull tabs right here that fold those back seats down and allow you to use some space in the cabin to get things home as well. So if you guys are picking something up like a small dresser or one of those really tall mirrors, you can do it in the Camry here. You're not forced to get into an SUV. Also, I wanted to let you guys know I did just recently start offering car buying consultations, so you guys can book a video call or a phone call with me to get an idea of how much the Camry is going to be worth when you plan on getting rid of it, depending on how long you're going to keep it. What are some of the issues to look out for depending on how long you're going to keep it? I can help you answer all those kinds of questions on our very own video call or phone call. Guys, just book in the comments down below. Back to the review. Checking out what the back seat of the Camry has to offer your rear seat passengers. You guys will see that beautiful perforated leather in here. It is super pretty to look at. Like I said in the trunk, I am 6'2". I have the front seat in the same position it was when I was sitting up there. And as you guys can see, my knees are touching, but it's not like digging into the back seat crazy or anything like that. Your rear seat passengers are going to be happy because look at that. They have a USB of each kind in the back seat, and then also air vents to keep the people back here cool. And I gotta say, I hate that this is a basically $4,000 package because, man, does this sunroof just absolutely make the car. Having that to stare up at and look at that view, it really does make this car. So I don't know why, but I really would want to pony up the extra $4 grand to get that sunroof. Quick look at the seat space up front for my taller viewers out there. I will put this seat all the way back, and as you guys can see, whoa, if you're taking this thing on a long trip, that is a lot of space. My legs, as you guys can see, are basically straight. So if you guys are looking to really take this on a good long cruise and basically be in a sleeping position while you're at the wheel, not recommended, but you can do it. So that's pretty crazy here in the Camry to see that amount of space. And these leather seats are very, very supportive. They got cool bolsters on the sides that aren't too narrow. So I'd imagine if you're bigger, you still will fit in these seats pretty well. They feel firm enough to the point where I like the support they give, but they're not too firm to the point where they're uncomfortable. So front seat in the Camry is a really nice place to be. And sitting in the driver's seat of this Camry, that premium package really makes it worth it. This steering wheel feels great in the hand. I think, you know, really any XLE has this steering wheel. It's leather wrapped, or what feels like leather. It should be a material that is easy to keep clean. The door, this has the same material that I was calling calling like an Alcantara or a suede earlier. That runs across the door panel into the dash, as you can see here, goes back across over to the passenger door and has a cool quilted pattern on it. Also, as a car guy, I wanted to mention, this is like kind of a nostalgic little cool look to this lock. I don't know, it just looks something like from a car from the 90s. It looks really neat, so I like that. Just kind of a random point I wanted to throw in there. Now, with this premium package in the XLE, it does have the JBL sound system, right? Apparently, I want to say it does have an amp and a subwoofer. You guys can correct me if that is wrong, but I do think it has an amp and a subwoofer. But where are my badges? You know, like when you get in like a Tahoe or something like that and it says Bose on the door, just a little 5-cent plastic badge, just glue it on there just to make me feel good. You know, like memory seats is a part of that premium package, as well as rain sensing wipers, this pano sunroof, and then those heated and ventilated seats. The ventilated is the part that you get with premium package. So yeah, the interior, what I like about Toyota, you guys have heard me say this before, is everything is very cut and copy and easy to understand if you guys have been in other Toyota products. So you guys see the steering wheel here, pick up and hang up calls. You guys will see this over here to control your driver information center. You guys will see all that up front moving around as I hit those buttons. That is your volume. You have your voice control for Siri, and then over here, your forward collision alert, your lane keep assist, all that stuff can be found right here along with your cruise control. And then if I hit mode, that takes me from Sirius over to like AM and FM. And then over here, the radio, also very cut and copy from every other car, just like the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is easy to understand and the radio is easy to understand. You guys will see here, you have those connected services that I'm pretty sure you pay for on that first tab. Music, obviously, in that second page. You have your phone if you're trying to call someone, go through your contacts. And then you have just some general controls for the car right there. And then the settings right there at the last part. And these are super powerful ventilated seats. Like these, I don't even have the AC on in the car right now, and it's pretty toasty. It's 71. These ones feel really, really good. So props to Toyota for that. You have a wireless charger down here. You guys know my favorite test to do is with my Yeti, the 26-ounce tumbler. We'll go ahead and put that in, and it does not fit. That's not a huge knock against these cars. I do still think if you had a Stanley, you know, those big handle cups with the skinnier base, I think those would fit in here pretty well. And then if I hit sport, guys will look up at the dash when I hit sport, does that cool little graphic there when then kind of turns things red. See how this takeoff is? Oh. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, yeah, this car is really, really fun, guys. If you need a little bit of a rocket ship in a sleeper package, this is going to be the car for you. This chassis feels super dialed in. It doesn't feel sloppy. And the steering, I really, really like the steering in the Camry here. It is sharp. It is quick to turn in. It doesn't feel overly numb like I expected it to be. I like everything in this interior and this whole driving experience. They are doing this car really, really well right now. And the braking experience too in here, super solid. I knew the brake response that was coming in the whole time that I was pushing the brake pedal down. So everything in this car, if you guys are wondering about this driving experience, is awesome. I don't think there's anything I can complain about right now. For what this car is supposed to be, this is a perfect driving experience. I am loving it in here. Okay guys, answering my question from earlier, do I think the Camry is as vanilla as I expected it to be when I saw it out on the road these past few years? And the answer is no. I actually had a lot of fun in this car. It does have personality. It does have a soul. It also has a really gorgeous interior, as you saw from all those finishes in there. It also has a really gorgeous exterior with this blue paint. This ocean gem paint is really pretty to look at. Those diamond edge wheels, it is super high end to see, and that sunroof, you guys heard me say it multiple times. I'm absolutely in love with that. So overall, no, this car is not vanilla. It does have personality. However, I do want to say this one, this XLE all-wheel drive, being $40,000, almost $41,000, and most Toyota dealers not offering much discount these days, that to me is a lot of money. At that dollar, I would much rather go with something like a RAV4 Limited personally. And I know earlier I was kind of joking about like everybody has to have an SUV. You can still have a sedan. Well, to me, I don't know. This is a lot of money for a sedan. When I'm shopping a sedan, I want something that's a little more value oriented. So if I were you guys and I was really stuck on the Camry, I would probably stick with the LE trim, because as you guys saw, that front wheel drive we checked out, that LE, it was about $32,000 and change. So it was like $9,000 cheaper than this XLE all-wheel drive. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but $9,000 makes a huge difference in a monthly payment. So if I was stuck on the Camry, I would probably go to the base trim, because I think this is just a little bit too much money for a sedan that's not in the luxury space, in my opinion. And I know the price of everything is getting high. I know this wears a Toyota badge, but I still stand on that opinion. However, like you guys heard me say, and like you saw from my driving experience, I was all smiles. It is a fantastic car. So if you are gonna go after the XLE all-wheel drive, you will not regret it. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my review of the 2026 Camry XLE all-wheel drive. I hope you guys did enjoy today's review. Before I let you go, I did want to thank my friends at Bob Johnson Toyota for letting me borrow this car for the day. I'll have all their info in the description down below if you want to check out their 2026 Camry inventory. If you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe, as I'm releasing new car reviews like this all the time, and I will see you guys in my next review.